So because of the rock sliding the other day, there's now loads of roadworks, which means it's taken a long time to get out of resorts, out of the resort to go to other gigs. So I've left early. Despite leaving early, Waze, which normally you're very good at this, sent me another way. I thought, oh, amazing. Spend half an hour going the other way and then get to a no entry. And Waze was saying I could go through it, but the road signs were saying that I could not. So I had to come back down, and I'm now in the traffic that I was hoping to avoid. But that means that I will do a little bit of vlogging, because we're not going to go anywhere very quickly. I was hoping it would stick better. It's currently on gaffer tape, so I'll try and be quick about it. God damn it. So I had a very interesting conversation a moment ago with a very good friend of mine, Al Jones, who's a phenomenal artist and musician, who's based out here. And he was having a little session in his sort of home studio with a guy I hadn't met before called B.B Greene. Both artists I will link in the description. And it was a very much needed conversation for me, because as I've said probably in these so far, that, you know, I'm playing solo, so a lot of alone time. I'm playing all covers, so, you know, and everyone kind of wants to hear the same sort of things, you know. So it can become, the magic of playing music can very quickly disappear, and it can very quickly become just another job, which I am very grateful to have. Don't get me wrong for that, and I will be waffling, and hopefully I can edit together some sort of coherent thoughts. But Al does his own music, Ben does his own music, and I do my own music. And so we were discussing how it's viewed in the music world, and particularly with musicians, that they are two very separate things. Playing covers is one thing, and playing your original music is another thing. And that's true. But you only have to peel back the layer of the music business a little bit to see that with the original music, there is considerably less money in it. Now, that's not saying there is no money in it, because of course there is. But compared to functions and, you know, cover gigs, wedding gigs and stuff, the money is night and day. So, oh, there's police. I'm gonna have to hide you. So a lot of musicians, and us three were all talking about it, about how we make most of our money through playing cover gigs. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put you away. I'll bring you back in a minute. We're still taking a little time to get there, so I'll carry on. So we were talking about how, what do you do? Do you play the cover stuff under the same name as your original stuff? Bearing in mind, you're going to do much more cover works than you are original work, and you're going to be probably playing to a lot more people with your cover work than original work. So is it better to have them separated, to have them distinctly defined, or is it better to play under your artist name so that you could perhaps trickle some people and throw them over to your original stuff? Because Al had mentioned that he made a very distinctive separation a long time ago, because he would get billed under his original name, his original music name, and turn up to a gig thinking that he was going to be playing his original music, start playing his original music, and people would be like, oh, can you play stuff that we know? And then Ben was talking about how that a lot of the stuff that he's been doing has been under a cover name, and then hasn't really been pushing it much to see coherent thoughts. I hope I can find some. I might have to edit in some. Oh, this isn't looking good. This isn't looking good. So what was I saying? What I'm trying to say is there's this whole argument, it's not really an argument, but a discussion I've seen about whether it's possible to be both an artist and a musician, and whether you should just be one or the other. The thing is, I've spent the last 7 years doing a normal job, and my skills are, I think, are in playing music. So I guess then I would fall into the unique category, I suppose, if that's what I'm trying to say, of being both an artist and a musician. Because, for example, today I'm driving to play a covers gig. So that's a musician. That's not really artistry. I'm not doing anything new. I suppose I could make it more artistic and more interpretive of them, I guess. But for the most part, people just want to hear the cover songs the way that they were always done. So, yeah, can you be both? And I think you kind of have to, because like I was, maybe I didn't get it in the edit or whatever, but like making a sensible, comfortable living from your originals music is very, very hard now. It's always been hard. And there are more means to do it now with the internet and Spotify and all that sort of business. But, you know, like I said, you only have to peel back a little bit to see that there isn't that much money in it, really. And even the big people that you know of are probably, well, I don't know if this is supposed to be common knowledge or whatever, but I'm going to say it in terms of transparency. So I have a very good friend who's part of a strolling group. Strolling, so like going around the tables, playing that sort of, you know, double bass, guitar, drum on a little stand kind of thing, saxophone, all acoustically, 4-part harmonies, you know. And they go all around the world playing for private parties, and of course that's all cover stuff. And he said about how they was in somewhere playing some sort of castle, some, like, you know, proper big boy money, and they're playing, and so is Paolo Nutini. Now obviously that's not Paolo Nutini's gig. People aren't there to see him. It was a party or a wedding or some sort of, you know, function. But he's not going to be playing covers. He's going to be playing his own music. But still, it's still a function gig. It's still doing something that isn't really for the artistry, it's for the money. And I've heard about how Eric Clapton has done or does do weddings, you know, if you pay enough. Black Eyed Peas, you know, people do, these big artists will do still the function stuff because it pays the most. So in starting this journey, as I feel like I'm doing now, having done it for a long time, but you know, I feel like now I'm really taking control of my decisions and my actions. The cover stuff is never going to go away if I want to make a living from playing music. However, the creative urge in me wants to write and make my own music, play my own music. So that's never going to go away. So it seems like, although at today's gig, for example, I won't play any of my original stuff, potentially I might slip in 1 or 2 at the beginning if no one's really listening, as I've tended to do. Or if no one's really listening and you kind of background music, then you can. But then why are you doing it? Because you're not entertaining anybody with it, and no one's going to go, wow, that was a great song, because no one's really listening. But my question, I suppose, is, how do you feel about it being the kind of under the same umbrella? Obviously, you'd have to make distinctions because, like Al said, he would get booked to what he thought was his original gig and it turned out to be a cover gig. So you'd have to do some sort of distinction. But can you do that without changing your name? Can you do that all under the same, you know, umbrella? Because part of the reason I wanted to get back into this scene was because I wanted to play music again, full time. And I realized that with my day job, which I'd had for 7 years, which was a cleaner, that was never going to lead to anything musical. With this, if I'm playing and someone really, really likes it and will come up afterwards and say, oh, that was really cool, really enjoyed it, then they've enjoyed the music, they've enjoyed the live experience. Okay, cool. Well, if you liked that, here's some information to go and check out my music. And chances are they're probably going to go and check it out, and if they liked what you did on the stage, they're probably going to like what you do with your stuff, or feel that they want to support you in that. So that's a decision that because the reason why I brought it up is because this tour that I'm on, I was asked by the agent, what name do I want to go under? And I chose just Freddie. Freddie, not Freddie Webber, because that's my name, but it's also my artist name. So I thought, oh, I'll do the distinction. And on this particular tour, that's okay, because I don't have, I haven't released any of my new songs. I haven't really kick-started the campaign of the artistry yet. I'll do that when I get home. So I'm wondering if I do this again, whether I bill myself as Freddie Webber and let the things cross-pollinate a little bit. If someone sees the gig and likes it, I'll follow you on Instagram. Oh, you do your own stuff, do you? I don't think that can be a bad thing. Although Al was saying that he'd had experiences where he'd done ticketed events in London, and another artist out here had done the same thing, sold tickets, was over the moon about that, and then there was a very strong percentage thinking, a very strong percentage of the audience that thought they were going to experience the sort of gig that they got out here, the après ski gigs, the Sweet Carolines, the kind of thing, which of course it was not. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know. Subscribe, follow, like, all that shizzle. Alright, that's enough rambling for now. I need another wee again.